I'm gonna ask a lot of questions right now. Why should you work out? Why should you read? Why not work harder? Why pray and go to church? Why drink water? Why eat well? Why build relationships? Why have integrity? Why learn? Why grow? Why be disciplined? Why should you be consistent and persistent? Why should you be yourself? Why should you be a leader? The title is, why not? Why not? If you can give me a good reason for everything I just stated, why you should not be doing these things, sure, I'll listen to you, but it has to be a good reason. It can't be an excuse. We tell ourselves excuses all the time. I'm guilty of this. I tell myself excuses all the time, putting stuff up, putting stuff off, being unorganized at home, all these different things. There's so much that we make excuses for, like, oh, this is more important. Or, oh, I don't have time for this. But like Angel said in one of his meetings before, if you're saying you don't have time for it, what you really should be saying, it's not important to me. That's pretty powerful. If it's important to you, then you have time for it. So let's talk about some of the benefits of working out. If you can't give me reasons why not to do it, I can give you some reasons to do it. So why should you work out? Well, it builds your strength. It builds your endurance. It builds your character. It earns you respect. When someone sees a well-fit person walk into a room who's dressed professionally, they earn respect instantly. But if you're dressed like a slob and aren't physically fit, your respect goes down. And it makes you feel better. Working out at first is going to feel like a chore. It's going to be really, really, really hard and annoying. You could ask Alex about this. It eventually became a hobby though. Working out became a hobby for him because now he enjoys it. He now sees the improvement. He now sees the fruit of his labor. And then why should you read? Well, like I was saying last meeting, anything unused, you lose. You lose those things that you don't use for a long time. So a lot of us don't practice reading. We're too focused on our phones or watching social media or watching TikToks or whatever it might be. But why should you read? Well, I heard a good quote. One book could save you 5 years. Something that you've been working on really hard for, you can't sometimes just figure it out on your own. You got to listen to someone that has done it before and has gone before you and figured it out. One book can save you a lot of time. So all you gotta do is take the time to read it. And it also boosts your reading comprehension, and just like working out becomes a hobby. That book Bobby gave me, I started to enjoy reading it. It took me a couple months, I'll be honest, but it was worth it. And then next question was, why not work harder? Why not work harder on your job? Why not work harder on yourself? Like I was saying, working on yourself is more important than at your job. It's like I said, if you work hard at your job, you'll make a living. If you work harder on yourself, you'll make a fortune. And why not work harder? Why spend more time watching television? When I talked about last week, television costs money to watch because that could have been used time working. And in this job, we aren't paid hourly. We are paid for our production. What I noticed was when I started this, I was doing part-time because I was doing college. We don't do part-time anymore for many reasons because we notice, including myself, that working part-time in this job is absolutely useless. You're working part-time, but you have a full-time headache. That's what we notice, not only for the staff, but for yourself. You're like, even though I'm working not very many hours, it's just as stressful, just as hard. So why not work the extra hours? So then for about a year after I graduated community college, I started working this full time. But to me, I was in the delusion of working 5 days, 40 hours. I was like, that's what full time is to me. So I can spend time playing video games, watching anime, and hanging out with friends or anything like that. Actually, I didn't hang out with friends, I'll be honest. But whatever it might be for you. No, I was not watching any Lamborghini commercials. But it took me a while to realize if I want to be leader, if I want to make leader and lead by example, I'm gonna have to work a lot harder. And to do that, I had to work more days and longer hours. I noticed that instead of ending my day at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and if I stayed out an hour or two more, I could get 6 or 8 more sales just in those few extra hours. Those last few power hours are super important. And starting early is also very important because in different parts of the day, you're dealing with different crowds, different people. And guess what? Most free phone people out here doing the tents work 9 to 5. I see it all the time. I'll be out and there'll be someone across the street. I set up before them, they set up after me. And then at 5 o'clock, they're wrapped up and gone. And I'm still there till 8 o'clock and everybody that was waiting there comes to me. That's pretty awesome, right? You have that same opportunity. And then getting out early. People are like, I never see the free phone guys out here this early. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm working hard. I'm helping people out. Your goals should be not to just be working hard, because that'll drain you. You should be enjoying your job. You should be enjoying your job. Find a way to enjoy your job, whether it's having a party tent like Alex, or being super professional with your customers, being super nice with your customers, informing your customers of different things. Create a unique experience for your customers. People buy from people. They don't just buy products, they buy from you. They buy from you. And so how do you do that? Well, you create a unique experience. You don't want to be a sales robot. I talk about this all the time. You do not want to be a sales robot with one chair, one table, and a small red, inky-dinky red tent. You don't want that. You want the big tent, lots of chairs, and a big table. You don't want to just be sitting there on your phone waiting for people to come to you. You want to be standing up. Hey, you over there. You got access to food stamps? Perfect, come on over. Yeah, yes, you, I'm calling you. Oh, thank you, awesome. You know anyone else that can sign up? Yeah, send them over, I'll help them right now. Yeah, friends, family, anybody. Do you have some neighbors or some drinking buddies or anything? Right on, just, you're on access, perfect, I'll help you out. What's your first name? Billy? Billy Bob, all right. Anywho, but you want to bring people in. You don't want to be that sales robot. You want to go out of your comfort zone. This job is not to be comfortable. Bobby says this all the time. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. What does that mean? Well, do the things you don't like. And you know that list of why this, why that I was listing, if that's a word. Whatever you struggle with the most, that's what you got to work on the most. Whatever you trying to come up with the most excuses for, that's what you got to work the most on. So if you struggle with working out, eating well, or struggle with being organized, being on time, not working with integrity and building relationships and things like that, maybe that's what you need to work on. Next on the list, why pray and go to church? Well, that builds your faith. What? You might be tripping, Peyton, I don't know. Are your shoes tied? Why drink water? Well, that's the source of, pretty much the source of life here. Everything needs water. We need water to survive. You don't want to be drinking soda. You don't want to be drinking Gatorade. That's filled with too much sugar. That's not hydrating you. With how much sugar's in those drinks, you're actually dehydrating yourself because of unhealthy it is. And you want to be drinking water. It helps you feel more awake. If you feel like you're dehydrated, you're tired or out of energy, drink more water. Trust me, it'll work. And I myself, for the longest time, I would only drink 1 to 3 bottles a day of water. That's really, really unhealthy. I was hurting myself, hurting my body. And when I started drinking more water, I just felt better because I was no longer being dehydrated or worrying about those things that were egging me on or confusing me. I had a clearer mind. I could think better because I was drinking more water. And it helps you be more healthy. It helps your body get the waste and the bad things out of your body by drinking more water.
Hey John.
What's up?
Hey, big difference. I don't know if any of you guys tried this, but first thing in the morning, if you literally drink 2 bottles of water, just first you start drinking those 2 bottles of water, I guarantee within like the next 15-20 minutes, you're gonna feel like a whole lot better. Natural energy.
So what he was saying is drink 2 bottles when you wake up. Force yourself to, even if you don't feel like, or even if you don't want to, sometimes you just gotta do it. And he's saying the benefit of that, you're gonna feel way different than you normally would. It might take 15-20 minutes, but he guarantees that drinking those 2 bottles will make you feel better. Bob had his hand up, and then you, Peyton. What's up? Yes. So even the yes. So he's saying that room temperature water is way better than for you. I agree. It hydrates you faster because your body can process it better. And so because your body has to warm up that cold water, yes, it might feel refreshing, especially on a really hot day. What you should be doing is just using that to cool yourself off, and then let it warm up a little bit, and then drink that water. Peyton, were you going to say the same thing? Or you had a different thing? Peyton, you had your hand up.
I personally can't get down 2 water bottles first thing in the morning. I get 1 down. You know what I mean? But drink a full water bottle first thing in the morning, gets all your organs going, gets all that. I drink a full water right before bed, and then right when I wake up. Those are, besides my prayers, those are the first things that I do.
Awesome. So he's saying even if you can't get 2 down, at the very, very least, do 1. Not half a bottle, not a cup, a full bottle. What's up, Bob?
Regarding going to bed, right? A lot of people have this concept. I don't want to drink too much water before I go to bed because a lot of people get up 3 times instead of once.
Right.
Maybe you should get up 5 times. Right? Because you need a lot of water. Right? You're recycling, you're flushing out the stuff that needs to flush out. So you drink a lot of water. A lot of water to do it. For any number of reasons. Even right now, even though it's just March, not to mention, by life, probably drinking gallons. Probably I'll carry a gallon around with you. And if you're going to bed, that bottle's not in the drink. You gotta make sure you hydrate. You know, just cheers to life. Flush them out, and decent quality of water. If it's just RO water, you have to be careful about this. If you get something that's just reverse osmosis, it takes out the chlorine and the lead, that sort of thing. It also takes out the minerals. You gotta have the minerals. So they, you know, and a lot of this expensive water, smart water buyers are dumb, by the way. Right? You know, anything in most cases that will pay $4 or $5 a bottle for water, the only people that really buying and selling are
Yeah.
it's like Fiji. That's so what are we gonna do? You know, the people are like taking gin and pouring it in an expensive gin bottle, right? Say there are people that'll take a Fuji bottle and use it for months. They'll get it out of the faucet and they'll show everybody they're drinking Fuji.
And I saw a really neat water bottle. So he's talking about having a gallon jug. I saw this really neat bottle that one of my previous bosses had. It was a gallon jug with different timestamps for the day, so that he has a goal. By this hour, I'll drink this much water. By this time, I'll drink this much water. If I ended up drinking less, I'll have to make up for it and drink more. And so he stayed committed. That's how he stayed hydrated. Is like, I couldn't do it any other way. He needed that organization. He needed that system in place to help him stay hydrated. Otherwise, he would be dehydrated. And we'd bring that around with him everywhere, all day until it was empty at the end of his day. And that was a guy who would work 14, 16 hours a day with maybe 4 to 6 hours of rest. He was a very, very hard worker.